This is like the buzz before a heavyweight championship fight.
So all of a sudden, this is the greatest rivalry of all time.
This is our time.
Inside the 5, touchdown Colts.
Get up, get up, get up, get up, time to fly.
Buying time. Sends it deep down the field, and it is Moss making the catch. Moss makes it look so easy. And it is caught by Wayne for the touchdown. And so it is, 24-14 at the half. Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, and Andrea Kramer from Indianapolis. As you take a look at the numbers put up by the two quarterbacks tonight, 237 yards, 2 touchdowns for Brady, 2 TDs for Manning. And let's check in with Andrea.
Well, and of course, the big number, Al, for the Patriots is Randy Moss, 4 catches for 144 yards. I asked Jim Caldwell about him. He said we have to keep the ball in front of us. The safeties have to play the ball. We have to make sure that Moss just doesn't get behind us. Now, injury-wise, for the Colts, the 2 running backs, Chad Simpson and Joseph Adai, still both listed as questionable.
And that's a big blow. That means Donald Brown has to do all of the work in the backfield. And he's coming off a shoulder injury, and he's missed a couple of weeks. And now McAfee to kick off, and back to receive is Matthew Slater. As the second half gets underway, the Colts trying to stay unbeaten. 8-0 coming in. The Patriots with a record of 6-2. 4 yards in. Slater avoids a tackle back inside the 20-yard line and brings it back up to the 28. Big play in the first half. Chris, that touchdown pass to Moss.
Superstars at work here. Tom Brady's going to buy a little time here. Watch him load up on this throw that travels about 63 yards in the air. And Randy Moss, we clocked him. Must be time for the Olympics around here. We clock him here, and he runs 33.5 yards in 3.3 seconds, which translates to about a 3.6 40-yard dash. Good luck covering that.
Put him on a relay team. 27-yard line, first down. Brady begins by giving it to Maroney, trying to cut it back the other way. And Maroney is able to make something out of nothing before Powers can knock him down. Coming into the game, Colts #1 in fewest points allowed. The most points they'd allowed in any game this season, total game, was 23 against Miami in that Monday night of week 2. Already 24 in the half tonight.
Well, but you get intimidated when Randy Moss goes over the top of your defense. Now you have no choice but to back way up, and it creates a lot of holes.
2nd and 4. And that pass is caught. That's Moss, as if he was going to go deep downfield and then turns it out. Short route, has enough for the first down.
Well, the big story of this first half has been the play of Sebastian Vollmer. Has he gotten some help? Yeah, absolutely here. But a lot of times it's been this. And I haven't seen anybody all season long that's done the job that Vollmer has done on Dwight Freeney. I think they have a budding star on their hands. Remember, he came to this country, didn't even speak English. They handed him the playbook, and he had to go get his vocabulary book first.
6'8" and 315. And Brady under pressure. And that pass will be juggled and incomplete. Intended for Moss. You know, maybe one of the great things about growing up in Germany and not speaking very good English is the fact you don't know what it means to have somebody tell you you're going to protect Tom Brady's blind side post-surgery.
Yeah, you know, I mean, Matt Light's one of the guys on the all half-century team for the Patriots, a great player for them for a long time, and he has seen somebody come in and really do a job in his stead tonight.
2nd and 10. And big hole for Kevin Falk over the 50. Stopped at the Colt 47-yard line. 15 yards for the guy who's been doing it for 11 seasons.
Yeah, we're also seeing pretty good run blocking here as well. Watch Sebastian Vollmer here. Set that edge. There you go. Kevin Falk, have some fun.
Getting a lot of mileage out of those inside gives. They had Watson lined up in the backfield as well. First down now. 2 minutes into the period at the 47-yard line.
Look at Kevin Falk directing traffic. He knew exactly where he was supposed to go and where Ben Watson was supposed to go too.
Right, brought Watson in, and now all of a sudden you have Wes Welker calling a timeout.
New England, this is their first charge.
So Welker sensed the offensive confusion. He said, let's not fool around. Timeout. There's Teddy Bruschi, who retired at the outset of the season. Rodney Harrison retired. There's Bill O'Brien. He's the play caller. I think Tom Brady said, if you're going to get me a new play caller, get me a guy with a cleft in his chin. Dueling clefts. Josh McDaniels was the offensive coordinator. Now, of course, the head coach at Denver. On first down, the pass to Welker. And Welker, who leads all receivers, wide receivers, this season in yards after the catch, showing exactly what he does right there. Gain of 14.
Talk to Wes Welker. He calls these screen passes drive starters here. You've got 3 wideouts out there. If they don't present a third guy on the outside that time, but they late getting there, Brady just raises up and hits Welker, and that is his game. He is dynamic. And I tell you, Al, my favorite part about watching this guy play is watching him block. Second only to Hines Ward in my book.
San Diego had him, and then they sent him to Miami after a couple of weeks, and then they wound up trading him to New England a couple of years ago. And Brady deep downfield to the end zone and intercepted. Picked off by Buffet, and then Buffet, an ill-advised attempt to run it out of the end zone, turns out better than it should have. Once he starts to come out, he's committed himself, and he almost got knocked down at about the goal line. Randy Moss, the pass intended for him, and Buffet with a very big pick.
Boy, Tom Brady thought he made a great read here, and so did I when I first saw this thing. You're going to see this safety go this way, but they is going to come back across this way and make the interception. I don't think Tom Brady ever saw it. He saw the safety on the left jump this thing, says, I've got Randy Moss wide open, and Bethea comes all the way across to make the play. Beautifully done.
His third interception of the season. Joseph Adai has now come back into the game. First time we've seen him since he scored a touchdown and messed up his fingers. Middle finger, ring finger now taped together on 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line. And they give it to him. And the guy will pick up 4, getting to the 18-yard line. Gary Guyton makes the tackle, 2nd and 6.
I like the move by the Colts here. We have seen throughout the course of this game, the Patriots have been playing 2 deep safeties. In the NFL, you have to be able to run against that formation. So the Colts have come out here in the second half with 2 tight ends now and are going to try and establish something running the football.
All-time offensive coordinator Tom Moore, 2nd and 6. Manning throwing, the pass is incomplete. One hopped by Garcon. 3rd down and 6 for the Colts.
That was a Haley's Comet right there. That was one you'd only see about once every 75 years, that Peyton Manning throws one right in the dirt. It wasn't even close. I don't know what happened to the release of this ball, but that was a Scrooge.
3rd and 6. We'll see him again in 75 more years. Manning moving to his left and throwing, and that is one-handed. A grab by Wayne, cutting across the field to the left sideline. He goes and makes the catch with Darius Butler, the rookie, with a coverage. 20-yard gain, 1st down.
Well, you pick on our rookie, we're going to pick on yours. Here we're going to put Reggie Wayne one-on-one. You see all the bump and run coverage all over the field. That was a brilliant throw and catch. This game's picking up, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. 38-yard line, 8 catches for Wayne. Fake to a dive, buys time. Manning going deep, and then picked off at the 25-yard line. Garcon was in the neighborhood, but a bad throw by Peyton, with Bodden with perfect position, and the pickoff, and then a flag down after the play. 2 flags after the play at the 25-yard line.
That was a duck. I've never seen 2 balls come out of the hands of Peyton Manning like that. And we're talking about 2 of the last 3.
after the play, unsportsmanlike, on the intercepting team, half the distance to the goal, first down.
And that's why you saw that look on Belichick's face. 10.5 left in the third. Each guy has thrown a pick now in the second half. Bob Kraft bought this team in the 90s. There's his wife Myra, son Jonathan, and of course now they are regarded as a model franchise. Went to a Super Bowl in the 90s with Bill Parcells. Lost to Green Bay, and then of course the 3 championships and 4 Super Bowl appearances in this decade, with the only loss coming to the Giants 2 years ago. Now after the interception, the pass is caught, and this is Welker, and again those yards after catch that he's noted for, up to the 25-yard line, and he picks up a first down on a gain of 13.
Brady checked, and then Gary Brackett checked right back, and Tom Brady knew what he was doing. Look at him here. He's going to check to cover 2, fall underneath, and Brady knows there's going to be a hole right over the ball because Brackett has to go back and cover that middle zone. Remember the one earlier in the game that Randy Moss hit him with it right down the middle? Nobody there. Great play by Brady.
And Lawrence Maroney can go nowhere on his 7th carry of the night.
You see Clint Session come flying in there on that one. That young man has come so far in the last couple of years. He says, if I'm going to run all the way to the football, I'm arriving angry. He had 14 tackles in the game last week. He has really developed, went from the strong side to the weak side, and it fits him perfectly with his speed.
Became a starter last year. 4th round pick in 07 out of the University of Pittsburgh. 2nd down and 11. They do a nice double team on Freeney to keep him out of the play. And the ball is caught by Maroney up at the 31-yard line, setting up a 3rd down and 3.
Oh, boy, Vollmer almost got had on that time. He ended up with a little help from his friend. Watch Vollmer on the outside. Freeney's going to get him with that spin move, but Logan Mankins saves him at the last minute. Just another form of double team on Freeney.
45 left in the third. Pats by 10. 3rd and 3. Crowd imploring its defense to hold him, but they won't, because Brady loves to go to Welker, and Welker has a first down up at the 39-yard line. Coverage on the play by the rookie out of Auburn, Gerard Powers. And for Wes Welker, that is 5 catches tonight for 60 yards.
You know, Al, it's interesting because now they're helping on Mathis on the other side. Watch what happens over here. Now they get the back over there to help him because they're starting to develop some confidence in Vollmer on the other side, leaving him single, and now trying to help Kasier on the right side.
Pick your poison. Trying to pick up those 2 guys. 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. Brady chased out. Maroney makes the catch. Maroney with a good little move to the inside of the 44-yard line. Mathis put the heat on Brady on that play.
Well, we talked about the release point of Peyton Manning and how you struggled that last drive. Watch this MB sequence here of Tom Brady. You're talking about a classic delivery. This was on the long ball to Randy Moss. Look at that release point. Left shoulder tucked underneath, releasing at the highest point of that pass, and that ball traveled nearly 65 yards. Just a thing of beauty. People have never talked enough, for my satisfaction, about Brady's arm strength. One of the strongest arms anywhere in the NFL.
Classic case on that play. 2nd down and 3. There's Falk. He has a first down, and the ball will be spotted in Colt territory at the 45-yard line. And the Patriots tonight have accumulated 370 yards in 2.5 quarters.
I tell you what, these guys inside, Stephen Neal, Dan Copen, Logan Mankins, they are as good as there is in the National Football League. Stephen Neal, he didn't even play college football, the right guard, number 61. He was a college wrestler, ended up the world champion, and actually beat Brock Lesnar, the MMA champion, in the championship match of the NCAA.
Well, winning the Dan Hodgeworth, the equivalent of wrestling's Heisman Trophy. Brady hops up to the line of scrimmage and hits Moss as he escapes the pressure. And then Randy Moss is able to haul it in, and that's another gain of 12 yards and a first down for the Patriots.
Well, anybody who says Randy Moss won't go over the middle, watch this one. I always thought this should count as 2 catches. You know, as a former receiver, if you catch it once and then let it go and you catch it again, it ought to double your stats. He has put on some show tonight, hasn't he?
Only you. Devaluing the currency. First and 10 from the 32-yard line. Brady is now thrown for over 300 yards. And this is Falk. And Falk at the 22-yard line. The one thing about Brady through his career that's different than a lot of other quarterbacks is when he throws for 300 yards, he almost always wins. We brought it out years ago as we have an injured Colt, that is Melvin Bullitt, who needs the attention. And when we come back, it'll be second down and 1. So Bullitt off the field. It's first down and 10. Silva comes in to replace Melvin at the strong safety spot from the 22-yard line. We talked about Brady just before we went to the break. In the history of the NFL, when a guy throws for 300 yards, they win only about 53% of the time. The reason, of course, is that when you're behind and you're throwing, a lot of guys will throw for 300. But when Brady, who's now thrown for 300 or more in his last 4 games, when he throws for 300 yards, he's 25-2.
He doesn't lose very much, period, does he?
That's true.
He really doesn't. 300, 200, he just wins.
And tonight, 3:03 already, with about 19 minutes and change to go. Maroney is the back on second and 7. Maroney again, and Maroney will set up a third and short inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, Lawrence Maroney's come in here and run well, but the guy that really has made the difference, I think, tonight is Kevin Falk. Kevin Falk has had a monster game thus far, and he checks back in here in this short yardage situation. You know, you expect to play him as a receiver coming out, but right now has around 79 yards rushing. As a matter of fact, he has the most yards for any running back that's never had a 100-yard day. This might be the day.
It could be, because you just saw Maroney go limping off as well. So it's third down and 2. There's Maroney. Under 4 to play. Big stop here for the Colts. And Brady has time and then throws, and that's going to be caught, and that's a first down. Chris Baker, picked up in the offseason, free agent from the Jets, tackled by Silva, and that'll set up a first and goal from the 8.
Well, I've got to start with the pass protection, and we talked about Vollmer all night long, but look at it on both sides. Kazir with a great block as well, and they're creating throwing lanes now for Tom Brady. He's able to step into these throws. He's able to see his receivers working down the field. I've got 5 game balls waiting for this offensive line so far.
And Brady to the outside, and that'll be caught. That's Falk, who gets tackled by Clint Session, covering on the play. It'll be second down and goal.
Well, we sing the praises of Tom Brady in so many different ways, but he delivered that football and took a shot right to the chops by Raheem Brock. This is when you really start to admire quarterbacks, when they stand there knowing they're getting ready to get drilled and still throw it that accurately.
Brady, 20 of 30 to 315. And Maroney will shove his way, and the ball is loose. The ball is loose, and it's going to be ruled a touchback. He loses the ball before he crosses the goal line, and Gary Brackett saves the bacon. Indy ball at the 20. Taiwan Hagler is on injured reserve, and the guy who's filling his role is Philip Wheeler, 50, and he forces the fumble, which is recovered by Brackett.
Philip Wheeler really did not play very well in the game last week, made a lot of mistakes, but he may have just saved the day for the Colts. This one was beginning to look like game, set, and match.
From the 20-yard line, first down. And that was the end of an 87-yard drive, which ends with a turnover. New England's turned the ball over twice in the quarter. That's a die right there. And oddly enough, New England coming into the game, fewest fumbles in the league. That's only their 6th of the season and the 3rd one they've lost.
Yeah, I think it's the first fumble by a running back this year, too.
2nd down and 5 with the ball at the 25-yard line. And Manning's pass is into traffic and incomplete. Intended for Garcon, covered by Lee Bodden. 3rd down and 5.
Well, we talk about turnovers all the time, but in this particular rivalry, turnover advantage is absolutely huge. Regular season game 6-1, and the postseason 2-0.
Right now, New England's turned it over twice tonight, and the Colts have turned it over 1 time. And on 3rd and 5, that is caught, and Collie is able to reach across the 30-yard line and move the sticks.
Pressure everywhere on the outside against these Colts receivers, and it has been effective against these guys. They are up in their face. Dallas Clark has seen it all night after catching one early. Hasn't been very effective. I'll tell you, Lee Bodden's had a huge night as well.
1st and 10. A die, and he'll go nowhere because that's Dallas Thomas, number 96, who makes the tackle.
Dallas Thomas was inactive for a game earlier this year, and he couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that's why I said before, I was wondering if he was in the doghouse or, the puppy house or whatever.
From what they said, is just other guys fit that plan better. That's the way the Patriots do it.
2nd and 11. And Manning over the middle. Just an underneath pass caught by Robinson, and that's going to set up another 3rd down with under a minute to play. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Lee Bodden so far in this game has been tremendous. They've thrown at him 9 times, completing just 1, and has an interception. And if Pierre Garcon and Austin Collie were supposed to be the answer if they tried to take away Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark, the answer hasn't worked out so well because of these corners.
6 defensive backs in on this set. And 3rd and 5. Manning's going to go down the right sideline and spinning around and unable to make the catch is a die.
Gerard Mayo is a young man that is a star in the league already. Not only does he have the ability to play the run, but you're talking about man-to-man coverage. Now, clearly, Adai had a chance for that one, but they have never had a linebacker here in the short term that can run and do the complete coverage, play the run sideline to sideline the way that Gerard Mayo can.
McAfee averaging 50 yards a kick tonight. This is his 7th punt. It's a wobbler. Welker up past the 40, and Welker with a big run back for the Patriots inside the 30, staying in bounds, and Welker will take it down to set up a 1st down and goal. Bad kick, big run back, and that's the way the 3rd quarter ends. A scoreless 3rd quarter because of the turnovers. But the 4th quarter will start with a 1st and goal. 24-14 New England. Sunday Night Football back after these messages. In Indianapolis, Al Michaels, Chris Collinsworth, Andrew Kramer is a look at Wes Welker, who's just run a punt back for 69 yards, setting up a 1st down and goal for New England. So they were inside the 5 before on their last drive, and then a Maroney fumble resulted in a touchback. But here they are again at the 7-yard line, 1st down and goal. Inside give, Falk to the 5, and we go back to the punt.
I told you I like Pat Chung. Watch him working on the outside here on the gunner, Anthony Madison. Don't think so, and it's not over when you hit the ground either. 3 times he's down. Down goes Frazier. There you go. 4 times. That's working on special teams. That is something else. Boy, the Patriots came to play tonight.
Great work. Chung becoming noted for that. He was at Oregon. Tough player. 2nd and goal. And the pass is caught by Randy Moss in the end zone. Touchdown.
Randy Moss is turning this one into no Moss. This is simple. You've seen this one in this game before. Just go down the end zone and throw one up in the air to Randy Moss. Good luck trying to out-jump him at 6'5". It has been a show by the stars of the Patriots tonight. All the way across the board, these guys have played great football. Welker and Moss and Brady and Falk. They have gotten it done in a big game.
Stowski for the extra point. Those injuries have begun to take their toll on that Indy defense, especially the secondary. The Colts had allowed only 10 passing touchdowns over their last 25 games. Tonight, Brady has thrown 3, and it's a 17-point lead.
Not too bad for the Redskins either, who came up with a big win.
17-point Patriot lead. Chad Simpson, who was out with a head injury earlier, and they said his return was questionable, comes back in to run the kickback to the 21-yard line. And there's Dallas Clark, who's been held to 2 catches.
Well, Bill Belichick is known for taking away your best player. He must consider Dallas Clark to be the Colts' best player because it has been a nightmare tonight for Clark. He has been getting hit not by just 1 safety, by 2, and just has been taken away. And Peyton Manning, to go back to a point that Tony Dungy made, has really stopped looking at him. You know, he's just only thrown to him 3 times. He's just assumed that he won't be there.
And those 2 catches came early in the first quarter after Manning had thrown only 6 passes. And finally, well, almost on cue. Sooner or later, they've got to go back to him. And they do here for a first down to the 40, covered by McGowan. That's a gain of 19.
Well, they always did listen to Tony Dungy, so. Here we go. Peyton Manning going to work now. He's got to crank it up.
Garçon, who was split wide to the right, covered by Bodden, and out of bounds, but not until he picks up a first down. So quickly, they get to the Patriot 49-yard line.
Pretty remarkable, really, when Peyton Manning sees a soft spot in the coverage. He finds it almost every time. One of the rare single high coverages that time by the Patriots.
No, Omaha 59. Hurry.
This is your obligatory Omaha call. Die with a nice gain of 9 yards, tackled by Guyton.
You know, this is what the Colts are going to have to do for the rest of this year. You know, they had gotten away from this running game, and I think that you have to acknowledge that to be the Super Bowl champion, you have to have a little balance, and you can see what it does when they start getting back to it. It opens other things up.
Stay on the ground. Give it to Simpson, who looked really good on that one long drive in the first quarter, and he takes it to the 29-yard line.
Well, when you end up with only 6 people down in the box, you can double team both those tackles and just go right at them.
First down from the 29-yard line. And Manning deep down the sideline, and reaching for it is Garçon for the touchdown. Pierre Garçon, who's had a real good half season, but a spotty game tonight with a big catch and a 29-yard touchdown.
Remember earlier in the game I told you Lee Bodden jumped that slant. I said you will see a double move eventually. That one's called a sluggo, slant and go. And Peyton Manning put it in the memory bank and came back and cashed it in.
Now Matt Stover, 20th year in the league. Vinatieri is injured. They expect him back in a couple of weeks after arthroscopic knee surgery. Stover bangs it through, and a big Indianapolis answer. It only took him 2 minutes, 4 seconds to go 79 yards and make it a game again. 31-21. Monument Circle, Indianapolis. We're about 6 blocks from there right now. 10-point game, and the kick is fielded by Matthew Slater in the back of the end zone. Back to the touchdown we go.
Peyton Manning with a great job reading this. Right here, Pat Chung is going to come down. Man coverage right there. He sees the single high, and the slant and go on the outside is there. But you'll see the pump fake draws Chung down, but also holds the backside safety. Check out Peyton checking that backside safety, make sure he wasn't flying over the top. Complete quarterback play that time by Peyton Manning.
Crowd really into it as the Patriots start this drive from their own 20-yard line. And after the play fake, Welker bobbles but recovers and to the 32-yard line. Almost a quintessential play right there, Chris. About a 2-yard pass and 10 yards after the catch.
I'll tell you what, Tom Brady doesn't miss much either. They came on a slot blitz that time. Brady saw it all the way, and he's just going to raise up and hit Wes Welker right here. Whoops.
Not even 2 yards. He caught it at the line of scrimmage. 1st and 10 from the 32. And Maroney, nice tackle right there in the middle. That's Gary Brackett stopping him in his tracks. No gain. 2nd and 10.
Well, you talked to Larry Coyer about Gary Brackett, and he says this is the guy, if you're out playing on the playground, your first choice. No matter what the sport is, this is the guy. He's the brains of the defense. He's the guy I want on my team first. And that might be my, he might be first and Brackett might be second.
Right guard Stephen Neal is on the bench. Dan Connolly, 63, is in right now. 2nd down and 10. And again, they run that same play again. They just ran it, and they run it again. And Welker gets twisted back as he crosses the 35-yard line. It's going to set up a 3rd and 5.
Nice play by Raheem Brock. He's sort of the joker, if you will, in that defense. He moves all over the place in that nickel. And now these fans know this is it. This is the play right here.
First down, so he goes to Moss. Moss covered by Tim Jennings. All he needed was 5, and Moss is able to get it for him. Winds up picking up 8. First down at their own 45.
As soon as they flanked Kevin Falk out, and you saw the linebacker walk out there with him, Tom Brady knew right now that it was man coverage. He took advantage, came right to his playmaker, and converted a big first down.
Randy Moss has 8 catches tonight, 2 touchdowns. 900 now for his career. Maroney turns a loss into a short gain. Broke out of a tackle, would-be tackle of Gerard Powers. So Moss, 8 years at Minnesota, 2-year interlude at Oakland, and now the 11th player with at least 900 catches in NFL history.
And Wes Welker missed a couple of games earlier this year, but when those two guys were on the field together, nearly impossible to stop this offense. People wondered if Brady was slipping a little. It was just he was missing his tandem.
2nd down, 8. 4-man rush. And they get to Brady as he releases the ball. The ball is alive. Robert Mathis creates what for the moment would have been a fumble, but New England recovers it anyway as Copen winds up on top of the football at the 45-yard line.
Robert Mathis has just had a monster game on the outside, working against Nick Kazur. Watch the athleticism to jump for the ball. Good golly. He is the master of that strip sack.
Ooh, boy, yep. Got it out before the arm was coming forward, too, so Copen saving it for New England with the recovery. 3rd and 10. Ticking down to 8 minutes left. Brady, and that may have been tipped as well.
Got him again.
Robert Mathis,
Yes,
98. 4th down.
You go with the speed one time, then you come right back with the bull rush. A 245-pound guy just going to jam this big 300-pound tackle right back into Tom Brady, hook his arm, and Robert Mathis has just taken over here in the 4th quarter. What a series of downs by him.
Kazur gives up 70 pounds to Mathis. TJ rushing to run back the kick. This will be Hanson's 4th punt of the night. He's averaging 46 yards per boot. High kick, fair catch called for. Made at the 18-yard line by Rushing. So here comes Manning about halfway through the 4th quarter. New England 31, Indianapolis 21. Look at that Manning, and we remember that game very, very well in 03. It was a Monday night game. Tony Dungy comes back to Tampa Bay. And Indianapolis with a tremendous comeback after about 90% of the crowd had gone home. 18-yard line, 1st down. Manning off the fake, going deep, and it is intercepted by Wilhite at the 46-yard line. And Wilhite will run it back to the 30-yard line. And Peyton Manning throwing a duck intended for Reggie Wayne and having it picked off.
Reggie Wayne just did not anticipate whatever Peyton Manning saw. I think Peyton thought he was going to get a safety blitz and that Reggie Wayne was going to take his guy deep. When he broke it off inside, he had no idea where that ball ended up. Right out here is where it's going to happen. But you could see that Peyton was checking. He saw the safety come down in the slot, thought he was just going to get a single man coverage on the outside, threw it up, and Reggie Wayne didn't see the same thing. We don't see those two guys get confused too often.
Manning 2 picks tonight. And 7 on the season. Ball to the 32-yard line. And here's Maroney. And now New England can start to think about taking some time off the clock. 7.5 to go in regulation.
Well, now the significance of holding the Patriots to just a field goal here. You can keep it a 2-score game at that point. Still, obviously, plenty of time when you have quarterbacks like this on the field. Let's see how aggressive the Patriots are going to be here.
2nd and 9. Brady taking the play clock down to 5. And then that pass is caught by Isaiah Stanback. He's tackled 3 yards shy of the 1st down with less than 7 minutes to play.
Well, they end up rotating over the top here to Moss's side, so they just come back to the single receiver side. And Isaiah Stanback has definitely contributed to this ball game tonight. They've used him to chip on some of these pass rushers, but he's also caught the ball well.
3rd down and a long yard. And that is Maroney, who is able to pick up the 1st down to the 20-yard line for what they hope would be eventual home field advantage in the playoffs. Ball is at the 20-yard line. And Brady milking the play clock, and it's caught by Moss. Bill Belichick said it very simply last night, the significance of this game. He told his team, hey, look, if we don't win, we have no chance to catch them. If we win, we're right on their blank.
Well,
you fill in the blank.
Yeah, it is a, this game is always a swing game, isn't it? I mean, when they get together and all the championships that have been won between these two teams, usually somewhere along the way, one team has to beat the other to get there to that championship game.
2nd down and 6. And this is Falk. When you look at this, Chris, home field advantage, and we can make too much of it. But I think it would be tougher for Indianapolis, the way they're constructed, to go outdoors in January in New England and play maybe in the snow or whatever it's going to be, as opposed to New England coming here.
Yeah, no question. And I think the major reason why is the Colts don't run the football very well. Perfect conditions is what they really need to compete against some of these upper-level teams.
3rd and 8. This would be a big conversion in terms of continuing to take time off that clock. And Brady's under pressure and has to throw it incomplete. So it's 4th down, and they do limit them to a field goal attempt with 4:17 to play. And Indianapolis looking ahead with all of their timeouts plus the 2-minute warning.
Well, it's just been a sloppy game tonight for this Colts offense. We've seen Peyton miss some throws. We've seen miscommunication. We've seen drop passes. And you can't play a team of this caliber like that and win the football game. There's still time. There's still a chance for them to come back, but they've just made too many mistakes to this point.
36-yard attempt by Steven Gostkowski. Hansen to put it down. And that will tack on 3 more and make it a 13-point lead. New England 34, Indianapolis 21. In jeopardy tonight because they're down by 13. And Gostkowski's kick was taken by Chad Simpson. From the 3-yard line, Simpson will bring it back to the 21-yard line. 4 minutes, 7 seconds left in the 4th quarter. 13-point Patriot lead. There's your quarterback comparison right now in a 13-point game. New England on top. Again, Indianapolis with all of its timeouts and a 2-minute warning. Reggie Wayne in this game, 8 catches, but only 1 in this half. So do they start to look his way again? Who will split left, Garcon to the right. Manning will go over the middle. Check it down to a dive. And that'll be a 1st down up at the 33-yard line. Tackled there by Gerard Mayo. Peyton in the pocket again. And New England will give all of those that he wants. Those little short passes over the middle. Austin Collie tackled by Darius Butler as we tick down to 3.5 minutes to play.
Gator. That's good.
And Manning throws. It's a little underthrown, but Collie is able to come back and readjust and get it at the 45-yard line. And one of the reasons it was underthrown is Thomas planting Manning as he throws.
Boy, Austin Collie with a nice route that time. It looked like it was going to be one of those middle reads right down the middle of the field. Broke out late, and somehow Peyton timed it up.
3 minutes to play. Manning stepping up. Manning going deep, and it's almost caught. Collie's there, and he's going to get the flag. You've got Darius Butler, the rookie out of Connecticut, who was there, made contact, and draws the flag.
Great play by Austin Collie right there. That's a veteran football play. The ball a little underthrown.
Defense, number 28. Ball's placed at the spot of the foul. 1st down.
Ball's a little underthrown, so Collie jumps back into the defender here, Darius Butler, and is going to get the call. By jumping back into him, that's what drew the call. It wasn't that Butler did all that much, but it was Collie who made that play.
And that penalty is worth 31 yards.
30's Mike.
And in less than a minute and a half, the Colts have moved the ball to the 13-yard line. Clark in the slot. Wing to the left. Garcon to the right. Manning throwing over the middle, and that will be They'll take the ball to the 4-yard line, 2nd and 1. Butler makes the tackle. Moss shaking his head, 2:43 to go.
If they're going to single up on Dallas Clark, stay with him. He is big enough to beat these corners just with body position alone.
On 2nd and 1. Manning throwing a fade, and they'll throw that one out of the end zone. The coverage that time is good by Wilhite on Wayne, stopping the clock at 2:27, and it'll be 3rd down and 1.
But despite the incompletion, Peyton keeps them at the line of scrimmage to keep the Patriots from substituting.
Vegas.
So they have to go with the same defensive personnel. They'll give the ball to a die, and a die will go into the end zone. Touchdown Colts. And it takes Manning just 1:52 to lead them down the field, and he doesn't have to use a single timeout. So there's still 2:23 on the clock, and they can stop the clock 3 times plus the 2-minute warning. The Dye's 2nd touchdown of the night. 1 rushing, 1 receiving, and Matt Stover makes it a 6-point game.
Peyton Manning spread them out all over the field, and then Big Vince Wilfork right here in the middle. They just double team him and get him just enough. Trust me, it takes 2 guys to make this block. But as you can see, Drod Mayo just got lost. He couldn't see over the top of the double team and just couldn't find a die to make the play. But what a drive by the Colts. Dallas Clark is going to get the final seal block on the inside, drive his corner right back in. And the Colts, they don't want to see this streak end.
Well, I don't think you onside kick here. It's one of the options. But with 3 clock stoppages and the 2-minute warning, I think you have to think your defense, or at least put it in their hands as opposed to an onside kick. That's what I would do anyway.
I agree with that, because remember, a field goal here in this situation would end up putting it at 9 points.
You're out of the game at that point.
You're out of the game, so
Right.
You're better off letting your defense play. They are way up here, too.
But that's a defense that's going to have to stop an offense that has gained 459 yards tonight.
If you can drop it in deep and not have it go in the end zone, like that bite, you don't want that in the end zone.
But that's where he's put it, with just 1 guy back.
See, that's a bad play. You had Welker up there standing on about the 25. If you drop that in the corner, you back him up inside the 10 maybe.
If you can. Of course, you run the risk of Welker running 1 back if you don't put it in the corner.
And you save time on the clock. You say that too.
Yep. The clock didn't start at all on the touchback, so there's still 2:23 with all of their timeouts, the 2-minute break, and then New England will set up at the 20-yard line.
Let's see if they shift their help now over to Robert Mathis's side. He's the guy they haven't been able to block the last couple of series. This is the time in the game typically you see Dwight Freeney make a play or 2.
And Brady has to take a timeout. Boy, that's a very uncharacteristic timeout. And that's their 2nd. They used one earlier. And, you wonder if that's something that comes back and burns you later, because if Indy gets the ball and they get a touchdown, now you're down to only 1 timeout. That's weird. I mean, to start a drive with a timeout.
How good is this series, though, between these 2 teams? I mean, every time you see them take the field and 34-28, offensive touchdowns, sprinting up and down the field, it's just one of the great series that the NFL has to offer.
As we said at the beginning, most of these games have lived up to the hype. Winning team in each of the last 3 confrontations coming from behind. Only time the Colts had the lead tonight, it was early. It was 7-0. Then New England scored 24 unanswered points. And right now it's a 6-point game, and they start on the ground with Kevin Falk. And the Colts will take a timeout. 2nd down and 10. And that's the smart thing to do. You take your timeouts on defense. You take them on this side of the 2-minute warning. Numbers for the two guys.
Well, Tom Brady's won the battle thus far, but if Peyton Manning gets his ball back, I'm not sure who's winning the war.
Second and 10.
Find Randy Moss and you'll find the answer. Moss or Welker, they're both going to Tom Brady's left.
Moss outside. Jennings on him. Now Welker comes to the right side in the slot. You've got Watson slotted left. Fake the run. Go to the outside, and that's caught. And then Welker gets upended at the 27-yard line. And now a timeout again taken by Indianapolis with a gigantic 3rd and 2 coming up.
Well, that time when Wes Welker went in motion across the formation, Tom Brady saw all he needed to see. Nobody walked out there with him. You've got Clint Session basically trying to cover one of the best slot receivers in the game. Forget that, one of the best slot receiver in the game, and Brady goes right to him. This combination of Randy Moss and Wes Welker, back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Randy Moss with the most touchdowns during the course of the time that he's been in New England, and Wes Welker with the most catches in the league during that time he's been with New England.
So here is a huge play. 3rd and 2. Colts have one timeout. 2-minute warning is imminent. 2:11. Then Jarvis Green Ellis is the back. Brady comes up in the shotgun. Colts dancing at the line. Here they come. Pressure. Pass incomplete. Gerard Powers on a blitz came in and forced it.
I think it surprised Tom Brady. The Colts don't blitz very much at all, but when they do come, it is effective. Had to get it out here, and we talked about this kid, Gerard Powers. He almost had the game winner right there. Almost came away with this thing, and he might have scored.
Powers and New England at least lining up as if they're going to go for it. I can't believe that, though. They're going to take a timeout. They're going to take a timeout. New England is before a 4th down and 2. So Powers with the coverage. Pressure was put on that time to force Brady's pass with 2:08 and almost an interception.
Wow. He catches that, and he scores. That young man's put on a great show tonight. He really is. If they go for this, I am going to be absolutely stunned. I should never be stunned by Bill Belichick. Maybe he just feels like his defense is too gassed, and they can't match up with Peyton Manning at this point. He saw how quickly they went down the field. He's going for the win right here.
I'm stunned times 5 if he does. 4th and 2. With nothing else, trying to draw Indianapolis offside. And they really do go for it. And do they make it? Yes, the catch is made. And where is the spot going to be? Kevin Falk is there. The catch is made.
Here's what happened. Kevin Falk was bobbling the ball. So instead of getting forward progress, they marked him down where he actually landed on the ground.
Absolutely, because they're going to measure it anyway, but they're going to be short. Now, this happens on the front side of the 2-minute warning, so if Belichick wants to challenge this, he can. We're not to the booth review yet, but as Chris said, the key thing here, when do you have possession of it? Juggle, get caught by Bullet, and that's where Scott Green marks it. Doesn't have it. Now has it, and he goes down.
This is the 2-minute warning.
Close.
Please reset the clock to 2 minutes.
It's the 2-minute warning, but again, Belichick can challenge this since it happened on the other side of the 2-minute warning. What a fantastic finish coming up in Indianapolis. where Belichick cannot challenge that. Remember, he took 2 timeouts on this drive. One before they started the first down play. The other one, they determined what they were going to do on 4th down. So there's no challenge. It's juggled. It's spotted. It would have been extremely close, but there's no way they can challenge it. And since it happened on the front side of the 2-minute warning, there's no booth review. Instead, Indianapolis takes over at the 29-yard line, and we talked about those timeouts and how it could come back to kill them. Now we'll find out. The ball is at the 29. Manning will throw it. Manning will throw it complete to Wayne at the 14-yard line.
I think you want to huddle up here. You do not want to leave any time for Tom Brady on the back end of it, and that's exactly what they're doing.
Yep.
Going back in the huddle here and allowing this clock to run. This is all or nothing, obviously, at this point.
If they need it, Indianapolis has 1 timeout. Patriots out of timeouts. I think there'll be a few things to talk about after this game. Holy mackerel. By Wilhite.
Right back to the touchdown play again. They're just taking the big defensive lineman right here with a double team. Vince Wilfork, one of the most powerful guys in the league. But we talked about the lack of depth. These guys are wearing down now for New England.
45 seconds from the 1. Stacked up. 2nd and goal. Under a half minute. Colts still have that 1 timeout.
Now you need to pick it up.
Manning for the end zone. Wayne, touchdown. Plays, 29 yards, and now to give the Colts the lead, Stover.
Veteran football players like Reggie Wayne remain patient in clutch situations. He set up Wilhite with the hard outside move. Did not rush that. The patience of that route is what won the day. And for Bill Belichick, this will be a decision they discuss for a long time.
And what is so stunning is that not only is Belichick a great coach, but through the years we've seen him so many times. Their clock management is normally very good. Their strategy is very good. They make so many right decisions, and this was just stunning. Not only to go for it on 4th down as the play is replayed right here, but to waste those 2 timeouts on the front side and leave yourself nothing at the end.
I know Peyton Manning's good, but to leave the ball on a 4th down at the 30-yard line, or at least have the possibility of that happening, to me is outrageous.
2 yards into the end zone, Slater. And that kind of puts a coda on what just happened to New England. Speaking of coda, that's Cody Glenn who plants him with 9 seconds. Post-game show coming up. Want to hear what Tony's got to say about this. And Bob, I'm sure, will be talking to him. Rodney as well. Andrea with an interview down on the field. Where do you begin to tell the story of this one?
Out of all the great moments this defense has had in New England, that Bill Belichick didn't trust them with that lead in that situation is unprecedented.
So they're 9 ticks away from an 18th straight regular season win. Brady throws over the middle. This is Walker. He just has to get rid of the ball and try to keep it alive, and the clock runs out. That's as quick as it gets. Belichick is stunned. Caldwell is 9-0. The Colts have won 18 in a row. The Colts in New Orleans is the only undefeated teams. First loss for Bill, regular or post, when leading by 13 or more in the fourth quarter, and that would encompass 88 games. Brady can't believe it. Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Connecticut can't believe it.
There are going to be some people who turned in early tonight that aren't going to believe it when they wake up tomorrow either. Wow. Give them credit. Peyton Manning, with about 4.5 minutes to go, had to have 2 touchdowns. Got a little help from Bill Belichick, but they delivered. And Reggie Wayne, the patience of the veteran, working against Jonathan Wilhite, the youngster. Wow.
35-34, Indianapolis. In a game that lives up to all expectations. Wendy's post-game report. Bob Costas hosting from here. We'll hear from Tony Dungy and Rodney Harrison on the other side of the break.